Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. It is your girl Cassandra Olivia, and in today's video I'm doing my lovely client. She's been coming to me for a few years, but I haven't seen her in a while. The last time she came, I believe we did a color back in like 2016-ish. So she decided to come in. She wants to go like a caramel blonde color. We're gonna go for like a natural honey caramel blonde. As you can see, her hair is naturally dark. She is a natural level 2. So what I'm gonna be doing first is going in and just prepping her hair with some K18 chelator. I'm also gonna be putting in some K18 mist. These both sit in her hair for 4 minutes each. And then when I'm done, I am gonna proceed to mix her hair color. The first color that I'm gonna be using to go in with her hair is gonna be the 8.8 CH by Rusk. I'm also going to be going in with a 40 volume with that as well, and some foils and some Olaplex. The reason why I decided to do a 40 volume is because that's going to lift the hair up 3 levels to about a level 6. And then with the foils, that'll help bring it up to about a level 7/8. So that way this color looks really, really nice and vibrant without having to bleach her hair too much. So here I am just detangling her hair. And then once I'm done, I'm going to start my color mixture. So as I mentioned before, this is just me applying the K18 chelator. This sits on the hair for 4 minutes, and then you can do the mist as well for 4 minutes, but it does have to sit for the full duration. So I like to spray this before I start mixing up my color, just so that way it starts to marinate, and then it sits as long as it needs to while I'm mixing that color bowl up. You guys already know any formulas or anything that you want to know specifically, I am going to be dropping on my personal website, which is going to be www.cassandraolivia.com. So be sure to check that out and sign up for my mailing list, so that way when I drop my full tutorials on there, you guys will get the inside scoop. I'll be giving you guys social media tips, advice, how I work with PR people, how I get on different lists, so on and so forth. All of that good stuff. You guys already heard me talk about this several times before. Just be sure to check out my link in bio. And again, go to CassandraOlivia.com if you really need some help with in-depth color tutorials, any type of styling that I do, whether it's natural hair, weaves, wigs, all of that fun stuff would be under my actual website. And those would be longer tutorials. So I figured I would put the shorter versions on here for you guys, but the people that really want to know like why I mix the formulas the way I do, how I do my consultations, how I do my pricing, all of that fun stuff can be found on there. So please, 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 just be sure to just add your email, and then I'll be sending out an email with something special for you guys coming up before my website drops. So be on the lookout for that. So what I'm doing is going in with my frame art foils, and shout out to my frame art fam. I cannot talk this morning, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's literally 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing this voiceover before I have to go in at work at 8, and I have an hour drive there. So this is pure insanity at this point. But what you guys see me going in with right now is my frame art foils. They sent to me. These are their all y'all foils that they had in June, and they sent me probably 5 different foils last month. So I was trying to rotate through them as each client came in. But here I am just applying that mixture, that 8.8 CH with the 40 volume, and of course some Olaplex. And I'm just applying this all over her hair in foils. The only part I'm not touching is her root, and that's because you want to save the roots for last, just due to the heat from the scalp. If we were to apply this color on the root all the way to the ends, essentially what's going to happen is the roots are going to be really bright, like a blondish color. Because of the heat from her scalp, it's going to cause that hair color to accelerate much faster. So we always do the roots last, so that way the ends and the mids, which I'm doing now, have time to process, and then you'll do the very last part, which is the roots, so that way everything is nice and marinated. So I'm only going in with 2 things today. I'm going to be going in with that 8.8 CH, and I am going to be going in with a little bit of my Schwarzkopf Blonde Me lightener and developer. I'm going to be using the lowest developer possible, which is the 7% or the 7 volume. With that being said, I am going to apply that after I do this full foil, just in the front and around the perimeter to give her a couple pops of highlights. Nothing too crazy, but it's all in how you apply it, guys. So once I get done, if you guys want to see already, I mean, of course you can scroll to the end. However, this is going to give you a multi-dimensional look, meaning that it's not one flat color. It's not just one flat brown, one flat black. It's going to give you some pops of caramel, some pops of blonde, some deeper pops of chocolate in the back, and that's kind of what we were going for. So she completely trusted me And also another sidebar, while I'm remembering and looking at this, she does have an undercut on the sides of her hair in the back that's growing out. So that's why you see some pieces of hair that are really short, like on the right side of this part. And then the middle part is really long. But that again is just because she's growing out a cut. So with that being said, I also had to be careful on my placement of my highlights as well as my dark and my light colors, just so that way it doesn't get too muddy. But you always want to take into consideration what the client has going on. Any underlying hair colors. She actually does not have any color in her hair. This is a virgin hair client, so I knew going in that this was going to be pretty simple. All I have to do is apply my colors and lightener and wait for them to apply, versus doing a color correction where that can be a client that has black on their hair or red or some color that's permanent, and then you have to push through that to get their end result. So this client was a blank canvas. Best case scenario, this service from start to finish took me 3.5 hours, and she did do a wash and go. The longest part was just waiting for the foils to process. You do give those a full hour to an hour and 20 minutes, and then of course rinsing that out, doing her Olaplex treatment, going back in with the lightener to do the blonde highlights, which I isolated, you'll see later in the video, and then just allowing her to deep condition, and then she did do a wash and go. So pretty simple. Another sidebar, I always do color consultations for my clients. You guys know that. The consultation fee is applied toward the hair coloring service. However, this client, she doesn't wear her hair straight a lot. So typically what I do is I offer a press. Of course, it's a la carte with the coloring service, or I will just offer a blow dry that's complimentary. So for example, if you just want to pay for the color, I'll add the wash and the blow dry, of course, in the Olaplex. But this particular client wanted to do a wash and go, and I just let her know, just being honest with your client is going to get you a lot further too, guys. But I let her know that I do not specialize in wash and goes. I do not offer them. So I told her if she wants to bring her own products and do that at the end, then be my guest. So just being open to communicating. If I can't do something, I will let my clients know versus trying to finesse it while they're in my chair. I'm not that type of hairstylist. So I just let her know, like, if you really want to do a wash and go, I'll just price it just for the color only, and then you can do your thing, and then we'll get the end result. So she was perfectly fine with that, and that was less work for me to have to do as well. But again, just being fully transparent that I did not want her walking out looking like Chucky or anything like that. So you guys, if you have not already, please be sure to hit that follow button and subscribe. Follow me on my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Threads, all of that. I don't even know why I said Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I meant to say Threads. Scratch that. My Instagram, my Threads, and my TikTok. I need y'all to follow me on. And also, if you guys want to know the products that I'm using, always be sure to check out the links in my description. If you can't find them here, I also link them on my LTK shop, so be sure to follow me there. And I also link them in my Amazon store under my salon must-haves and my salon products. I'm always updating my Amazon store as well, so if you guys by any chance forget what I'm using, you can always literally find those lists there, and always you can shoot me an email or a DM. Just be mindful, I get hundreds of DMs a day. So with that being said, email is best. However, I do try to respond at the end of the evening once I'm done my clients for the day or whatever I'm doing. So also keep that in mind. So I'm just going to finish. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. So I'm just going to finish applying this lightener all over her hair with this, not lightener. Oh my goodness. What am I talking about, y'all? See, it's too early. I'm going to finish applying this color mixture all over her hair, and then I will be back in a few. So pretty much for this part, I just went around her whole entire head, just applying that 8.8 CH with that 40 volume mixture, again with the Olaplex that you guys saw me mix in the beginning. I'm just going in, foiling the entire head, again saving the roots for absolute last. Once these are done processing, I am going to go to the very back just to check that first section that I did, and just to make sure that everything is starting to lift. So you always want to go in, double check your work. Make sure that if you have those foils in the back sitting for a really long time, you are actually going back in and checking, because again, we don't want to over process. Now with this color, it's pretty foolproof. I'm not really bleaching her or anything, but again, you just want to double check that. So here I am, I just added a backwards bib by Framar. I just tie that around her neck. Everything that you guys see here in the background is either Frame or Amazon. Y'all ask me that all the time, so just be on the lookout for that as well in the bio, in the description, all that good stuff. And I'm just going in, peeping at her foils in the top. I know that the top right is going to be the last to be pulled out, so I just pull these sections out how I put them in. And I am going to run my fingers through, just make sure the color looks nice and even. Make sure that I didn't miss any spots. This is the perfect time to go in and double check your work, triple check your work. So if you feel like, hey, I might have missed a spot under here, this is the time to go in and just make sure that you got everything applied where you need to. You don't have any missing gaps, any spots in the color. And then once I'm done pulling all 4 of these sections, then I will proceed to go in and start doing her roots. I'm sorry, y'all. I will never do a voiceover this early in the morning before work. I am exhausted and I'm still trying to push through, so give it up for me. So what I'm doing here, I decided in the front actually to not pull the foils, because this actually makes it a lot easier to separate the sections. If I were to take all the foils out, the hair is just going to be in one wet clump. Then I'll have to really take my hands or my comb to separate to get to the roots. So that very back section that I pulled was just to check on how the hair was progressing with the color. But then for the other 3 sections, I did absolutely apply the roots with the foils in, because as you can see here, all I have to do is lift the top and the bottom of the foil. It's easier for me to separate and see what I'm doing. And then I allowed her to process for an additional 20 minutes. And then we did put a cap on her just to allow that heat to catch up from her scalp and allow everything to marinate and penetrate the way that it's supposed to. All right, so I went ahead and shampooed her at the bowl, and this is her all over 8.8 CH color. Now remember, we did start at a level 2, so we got a really beautiful lift. This was not using any bleach. However, now I'm gonna go in and start to section her hair, and now we're gonna really go in and start to customize these highlights throughout her hair. So I'm just going in, I'm doing a couple weaves in the front of her hair. Now again, being mindful that she's growing out a shortcut, she had the sides and the back shaved. So she is gonna have shorter pieces around the perimeter of her hair. That's just what it's gonna be. But just keeping that in mind, it's going to let me know how to apply these pieces of highlights, so that way everything is nice and blended. But that way she doesn't have a lot of short pieces that don't make sense. So taking into consideration your client's head shape, excuse me, but also taking into consideration the length of their hair, how their hair falls, that's also going to help you determine how you're going to do your placement. And again, this full hour-and-a-half tutorial is going to be on my personal website. So if you want to see the longer video, that will be launching soon. So right now, all you can do is sign up for the email. I will send out plenty of emails before they launch. Again, some special surprises coming as well. Be sure to sign up at CassandraOlivia.com if you guys do want to get the full in-depth tutorial. I'm talking toners, formulas, how I game plan, the pricing, all of that stuff. If you really just need an extra push or some extra help in the color field, then that will be under there, as well as everything else I do, just longer tutorials, me really breaking things down and also helping with every aspect of what I do as well. So it's going to be a little bit of hair and social media. So this was the placement after I was done putting in all of her lightener. Now I'm just going to take her to the bowl, and this is where I'm going to shampoo her, give her a final tone. And then once she was done that, I did deep condition her hair. We rinsed her out, I left her wet, and then she just went in with her own products to do her own wash and go. So this is me just recording her behind the scenes. She does have a little bit of a white cast on her hair. That's just because of the product that she's using. However, once we sat her under the dryer for about 20 minutes and came out, this was her end result. So again, you see how it's not one flat color. She has a lot of dimension in here. It's giving you like caramel vibes. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm so tired, but you see how it just has dimension. It's really light in the top and it just goes a little bit darker in the back. Everything is nice and blended. Her curls look nice. She was in love. I was in love. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I try to make it as short and simple for you guys here on YouTube. And again, just be sure to check out my links in my bio. I'm getting ready to head to work. It is now 6:30 in the morning and I got this done. I'm not even about to edit this for real, for real. I'm gonna just throw some music on and push it up here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Bye, guys.